Hello, hello, everyone. This is Real Talk, Real People. Real Talk, Real People. As always, I am here, your humble and gracious host. Now, honestly, if I can be honest here, I can always be honest with you all. I wasn't going to do this because it's pretty brand new. I haven't had enough time to dig into it, to read on it. I've had about 2 to 3 hours worth of prep, which is about a little bit more than what Congress had when they went ahead and passed this bill, right? So I guess I'm in line with everything. But for a 5,600-page stimulus bill, you would think someone would have more than 2 hours to go through that to make an informed decision about what they want to vote for. But again, this is politics. And as such, Real Talk, Real People is going to slash through all of the veils, and we're going to demystify this. We're going to make it real simple to understand, real easy to understand. Now, again, this is just about 2 hours of what I've gone through reading into the bill. So I'm going to definitely try to make it really quick and concise. And then once we go through what I've dug up from the bill itself, I'm going to go ahead and we'll dive into the bill and see what we can find live. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this out for people that aren't going to take the time to go ahead and read a 5,600-page stimulus bill. 99.98% of Americans will not take the time to read this. And it's built that way. There's some crazy stuff in here, as you're going to find out. And I guess the question and you'll want to ask yourself as you're listening to this is, do you want your money, your taxes that you pay for, that they don't let you get out of, do you want your money to go towards some of this, all of this, partial amount of this? You'll want to think about that as we read into this. We'll want to weigh the pros and cons of all of this. Is it worth it to you? Everybody's answer is going to be different on this. Everybody's answer. So don't feel bad if, your answer is different than your girl's answer, or your kid's answer is different from your grandparents' answer. That's fine. Everybody has to do things within their interest. But let's see if we can establish a baseline of advantageous to the American people and bull. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig into it. So like I said, I took the time to break down some of this stuff. And of course, Real Talk, Real People are staple. I will have at the end of the live stream, I will have all the links of the sources that I used to gather some of this information, including the 5,600-page document that you can, read for yourself, or maybe have one of those dictation apps and then just let them talk it, literally just read it to you like an Audible or something like that. But anyway, let's get into it. And I hope y'all like my thumbnail. I thought it was some good stuff. Let's be real. All right, so jumping right in, we're going to look at this. The stimulus bill is 900 billion. $900 billion. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Feel free, if you have any questions during this, to put them in the chat. Speak amongst yourselves. I'll be looking at the chat periodically. I don't want to lose everybody. So like I said, I will try to make this as clear as possible. Let me make that bigger. We don't need my icon. Okay. Get rid of that there. We're good. Okay, so the first thing here, we'll just read this first page, then I'll go into a couple of things that I found. Rules Committee print 11668, text of the House Amendment to the Senate Amendment of H.R. 133. The act may be cited as Consolidated Appropriation Act 2021. Short title, table of conflict, reference, explanatory statement. This is all what's inside of it. Agricultural programs, farm production programs, foreign assistance and related programs, domestic food programs, general provisions, Food and Drug Administration, science. We'll get into that. Science, general related agencies, military personnel, test research evaluation, course of engineers, civil engineers, District of Columbia, emergency funding. So we'll get into all that. There's just so much in here. And honestly, there's no reason that this bill needs to be 5,593 pages. That's overkill. And to give Congress, to give the people that you vote into office 2 hours to read this before they vote, again, that's what we call politics. It's blurry. Look, thank you. I can try to make it. Let me know if it's still blurry. Hold on. Let me see, original document PDF. Is that better? Definitely let me know if that's better. That should be better. I don't know what type of delay we have, but let me know in the comments if that is better. Okay, I assume it's better. All right. So let's go up here. So I'm going to read this off. So one of the first things we should realize, again, this is $900 billion. In regards to domestic funding, we have $26,400. $26,400,000 to the Kennedy Space Center. I think that's the Kennedy Space Center. They're just saying it's the Kennedy Center. So let's go ahead and see where this is. They're saying that much is in, that's how much we're funding out of that 900 billion. We got 26,400,000 going to that. Isn't it control? There we go. Kennedy Center. Okay. So yeah. So this is how we're going to fact check. I read a lot, but it's nothing like being able to fact check what people say. You got to hold people accountable. Study and show thyself approved. So let's see here. John F. Kennedy Center of Performing Arts Operation and Maintenance. What? For necessary expense for the operation, maintenance, and security of John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, they're allocating $26,400,000 to remain available until. So they're funding this for 2 years. Why is our tax money going towards that? Let's do this too. I don't like that, Tommy. So let's put 900 billion here. That seems like a lot of zeros, doesn't it? 900 billion. Okay. Minus 26,400. That's how much we got left over. So we'll take it down as we're going through this bill, and we'll see how much is actually going towards Americans out of all this 900 billion. Let's see how much Americans are getting. Okay. Let me see. There's 3 more instances of this. Okay. So 14 million. So damn, that wasn't enough. Hold on. Operation, maintenance, and security of the John F. Kennedy Center. You're getting 26 million, almost 26.5 million. And then you need another 14 million on that for repair and restoration. Okay. Minus 14 million. Okay. That puts us at 8. Damn, hold on. Hold on, I forgot the memory. Hold on. Damn, hold on. That's why I can't mess with these. Hold on. Oh, hold up. Yay, shout out to technology. Damn, okay. Hold on, let's go back. Okay. And then we're going to subtract. I'm going to take that, subtract 14 mil. All right, cool. That being Kennedy Center, what does that have to do? That's the great question. It does have nothing to do with COVID-19. So I'm going to introduce a term now. We're going to introduce a term called pork. Whenever there's a bill that's getting passed, in politics, what they'll normally do is put a whole bunch of unrelated things into the bill towards the last hour, make the bill huge as possible, and then put all these things that they want in the bill and try to get people try to get Congress and your elected officials to vote for it. They give it these arbitrary time frames of like 2 hours before the vote, things of that nature. And that's how they get a lot of stuff passed that normally wouldn't pass. So they're using the whole idea of this being an emergency and that them needing this to get all this other stuff passed. Already in the first few lines, they're starting with the BS. I'm all for the arts, but this is no place for it. I agree. Okay, I agree. Well, hold on. Another 14 million for expenses necessary to carrying out the provisions of the Woodrow Wilson Memorial Act of 1968, including higher passenger vehicles and services authorized $14 million, another $14 million. Wow. For the Woodrow Wilson Center. Okay. Minus 14 million. Okay. National Foundation on the Arts of Humanities. The National Foundation of Arts and Humanities is getting $167,500,000 to the National Endowment of the Arts. Okay, well, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's do this. I've actually, like I said, gone through this, and I'm going to show you some numbers here. Let me do this. That'll make it better. Let me see. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. That's crazy. Okay. So check this out. This is how much in domestic funding. Okay. So you got the Kennedy Center, Smithsonian, Woodrow Wilson Center, National Art of Humanities, National Art Gallery. So Smithsonian is getting a bill off top. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Let's see. So out of 900 billion, let's do the math. Can't be afraid of the math. Let's do the math. $1 billion plus 26, 400 milli, 154 milli. $167 milli. $14. So we're looking at $1,363,000,000. So we have 900 billion, right? Let me see. 900 billion total. Bill. Okay. So the next one we're going to look at is foreign country funding. So this is going to be aid that we are giving to foreign countries within this bill. Let's take a look. This is your tax money. These are your tax dollars. Please be aware. This is why we're getting 600. They're putting money in unnecessary nonsense. These politicians don't care about anyone but themselves. That's a very fair assessment. That's a very fair assessment. This is, unfortunately, I hate to say this. I'm going to go through this. This is probably going to make less sense by the time we're done. This is going to raise more questions of why is the American people only getting $600? So let's take a look. All right, so we got Egypt. They're getting 1.3 bill. Sudan getting 700 million. Ukraine 453. Now we're assuming this is for COVID-19 aid. Okay. Ukraine getting 453 million. Israel half a billion. 130 million to Nepal, 130 million to Burma, Cambodia getting 85 million, 85.5 million, Pakistan getting 25 million, Asia RIA 1 billion, 1.4 billion. Okay, let's do the math on that. But we couldn't order more vaccines. Nah, bro. Nah, you know, false scarcity, man. The market, let the market decide. Let them decide. All right, and let's do some math here. Beautiful, beautiful math. Okay. So we got. Excuse me. But I like seeing that everyone's gears are turning, because this should make you think. This should make you wonder. This should make you say, what? See, they're taking advantage of the situation. And here's the thing. You can't blame this on, Trump or Biden. This is the Democrats and Republicans right now. This is your Congress at work. So this goes beyond a puppet. This is the people that were voted in, and this is their interest. Damn. So that's almost $5 billion right there. Foreign aid to countries. I know. From what I read, Twisted, we got one of the highest amounts. Apparently, most first world nations are hoarding the vaccine like 2020 toilet paper shortage. Facts, chop, facts. Yeah, I mean, the numbers don't lie. So let's put that total up there. Let's put that total right there. Okay. And let's go ahead and see here. Nah, I better not put that number there. So, like I said, there's a whole bunch more research that needs to be done. But let's just go ahead and combine those two amounts. So, foreign country funding alone in domestic funding alone for the arts. That's just the arts right there. We'll go plus 13614. So that's 6 billion, just a little over 6 billion. Okay, so that's 6 billion right there. So let's do this, right? Oh, hold on. Let me be real. Let me keep it real. And the American people, we're getting that amount, $600 per person. So let's do this. Let's figure out how many Americans, and this is going to be tough, because which number do you go with? Do you go with how many Americans are, how many taxpayers? Maybe let's Google that. But no, because kids are counted. How many Americans? It's the population of America. What's the U.S. population? Okay. So this is why I don't like this number. They're currently saying that the U.S. population, kinds are counted as some are getting a bit more than kids are counted. Yeah, kids are counted. That's what I'm saying. And so they're saying there's 328.2 million. That's the population. So is that counting non-citizens? Like, that's what I would need to know. See, that's tough. Do we know why we only get half of what we got last time? No, there is no answer for that. There is no answer that I've read thus far. So, but we're gonna break that. We're gonna do some math here. We're gonna break something down here. I don't want to use that number because that's counting. You know what? Let's go with this number for a lack of a better number, right? So let me see. Let's say there's 328.2 million Americans. And let's assume that everybody's getting $600. Just 600. Two. Doesn't seem like a lot when you put it like that. Times 600. That's, wow. Do you guys see that? Right, right, right. Do you see that? So if we're assuming that the 2019 census data is correct, that's how many Americans, the population of North America, the United States. And that comes out to, if every person got $600, that's only $196 billion. That's 196 billion. Now, 900 billion is how much this passed for. And the other ones were bigger than that, weren't they, in the trillions? 3.1 or 1.1 trillion. Let's give it a moment and let that soak in. Let's see how much they got left. Stupid. Stupid. Yeah, it's crumbs. It's crumbs. So that's how much they got left. Now, let's look at all angles here, right? Let's look at all angles. We got to count, we got to add in that 600 stimulus check per person, right? So, but see, that's going to be hard. How do you find out how many Americans are on, hold on, let's see here. Unemployment. We need some unemployment numbers. How many Americans are unemployed? And I doubt we're going to have current, we'll have to go back to October. 12.6 by the official labor statistics, that's 12.6 million people that are on unemployment as of October of this year. So let's do this. So unemployed. And let's take a look at when this passes. Well, if this gets written into law by the president, if he signs it, let's take a look here. Unemployment. How much are people currently getting? So, does anyone know how much the employment checks are? Let's Google that. Okay. Yeah, each state has different unemployment benefits. Um, yeah, it really does depend on the state how much unemployment you're going to get, but they're going to boost it by $300. So um, I guess we can only go off of the numbers that we have. So we just know for a fact if it gets passed, the bill, they're getting an additional, or the unemployed, are getting additional $300. So we'll do 300, 300 times 12.6 mil. Okay, so that's 3 bill. That's 3 billion. And then what else are we getting? Or I'm just saying, American people. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's about it. So let's add those numbers up, because not every person is a business owner or small business owner. So we're not going to count PPP. We're only going to count. We're only going to count. See, and even that's tough. But we're just going with these numbers. These numbers aren't correct, because if this bill passes, it's 600 per person for a qualifying adult and their dependent children. But if you are still being claimed by your parents and you're under, you're in college or something, or you're in high school, obviously you can't claim it, right? So if your parents are paying for college and you're claimed as dependent under them, they get your money, not you. But I mean, you already knew that. So let's go ahead and add this together. I appreciate the funds, but when I see other countries actually supporting their people correctly in pandemic, and the greatest nation in the world has only given their people 1,800 in the 9 months, nah. Yeah, we don't even want to look at the Canada's benefits, or France and their benefits. So let's go ahead and add those together. 196,920,00,00 plus 3. So out of 900 billion, 200 billion, a little over 200 billion is actually going into the pockets of Americans. And even that number is off. It could be less. It could definitely be less. 100. but to play with. I mean, they get our tax dollars. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's 5,593 pages. So we just accounted for what's coming to Americans in their pocket. We've got we've got damn near 5,500 pages to figure out what happened to the rest of this money. So I think people are going to be analyzing this document for a while, for a long time, to figure out what is exactly in here. Because we accounted for all of what the Americans are going to get into their pocket. That's $200 billion going to Americans. And that's damn near $700 billion left that'll be going to God knows what. That's what we got to figure out. That's $900 billion of our tax money. Let's do the percentages. Let's put this in a language that people can understand. Let's see what 10% of what $9 billion. Well, I think we would know that, right? So let's see here. Let's do 15%. Let's see if 15% of this money is actually going to us. We're getting at least 15%. Okay, let's do this again. So let's say 20%. So we're getting 20, okay? Let's go 22%. Okay, so we're roughly getting, I would say, about 23%. 23. Let's put 23.5. Or just put 23. Okay, so we're getting a little less than 23%. So we're probably getting about what, 22.7? We're getting about 22.7% of the money equals 22.7%. My numb lock went off. How did I mess up? Hold on. Okay, so there we go. We broke it down. Taxpayer, your tax money. Okay. Couldn't even push 25%. I'm curious at this bill. Yeah. There we go. That's That's the break that is breaking it down, right? Because all we care about, right, as a is what's coming to us, what's going to help us live better, what's going to help us get to the next paycheck, what's going to help us pay our bills. We know the type of stress that is visited upon people that have to worry about their car note, getting their car repoed, having to worry about if they're going to be able to stay in their house, stay in their home, stay in their apartment, stay in their condo, their complex, worried about all of that. Talk about the people that don't have enough food, money to buy food. And when they do buy food, they got to buy something that stretches that may not be the healthiest for them. So you got the stress killing you. You got the lack of nutritional options killing you. And you got COVID and all of the stress coming with that, potentially lowering your immune system, killing you, all these different things. And so their answer out of $900 billion is to offer 22.7% to go to Americans. Wow. Amazing. Now, of course, again, this isn't counting the PPP loans, which, again, not every American is a business owner. Not every American has a small business. They are extending the PPP loan. They're infusing it with some fresh money for people to go and ahead and get. And hopefully this time, more folks will be able to get that money. A lot of people didn't know how to go about it last time. And again, these are loans. You got to pay them back. We don't know what the terms are. I'm not familiar with what the terms are on these loans, but it's something to consider. So let's do this. I want to put a reference in regards to the last stimulus, and then we're going to go over what is some more pork in the bill, which are things that were seemingly unrelated that we're paying for. Okay. So this is going to delve into the $699 billion that's unaccounted for. We're going to dig into that a little deeper. But first, let's just see here, because we know that we're going to leave the boost off. Unemployment benefits were like $600 a week. So let's put in old numbers, right? But that's going to be hard. That's October. So let's just do let's take unemployment down to 8 million. How about we do 8 million? Let's take it down to 8 million. We're going to go back in the past here real quick. We'll label this first stimulus. Okay. And then we'll put 8 million. I mean, we probably could look it up. How many people were on unemployment during the first stimulus check? So the last one was 2 trillion. 2 trillion. Okay. So we got our number. We'll stick with 8 million unemployed, and the benefits I believe were $600 a week. No. We'll go Hold on, let's do this. So we have 328.2 million people so damn, because that's going to be hard because it was 1,200 for adults and 600 for kids. Those numbers aren't going to add up. We would need to know how many kids and how many adults there were. Let's just see something. Let's treat every everyone as an adult. Since everyone's got treated as an adult this time. Let's see what that looks like. These numbers are off. I'm just trying to get an idea. Times 12. First stimulus. And then unemployment. I'm pretty sure that, let's say 8 million people, 8 mil unemployed, let's just say, and times, let's say it was 600 a week. So hold on, maybe the first number was off. So unemployment was, hold on. My numbers must have been off because if we're talking about right now, that was 300 bonus. Oh, so that's a bonus. So really, well, no, you're right, because we can't count what they're getting on unemployment from the government right now. We can only count on what's in this bill, right? So that's how we'll clarify that, right? It can only be counted for what's in the bill. I'm like, so man, we need to figure out how much people were getting weekly and extrapolate that into it. But no, we don't. We're just talking about this bill, the money coming out of the bill. So there was a cap of 3.3 trillion. Damn, we don't want to see the percentage on this. We do not. No, it was 2 trillion. Hold on. 2 trillion. Okay. 2 trillion. And let's say they got that much. All right, so Okay, cool. And then 8 million people unemployed. They would have been getting. See, but it's not a bonus payment. So, yeah, no, it's not a bonus payment. So we would actually take that out because it's not a bonus payment. So it really, let's do the percentage on that. Can my calculator go that high? Hold on. Okay. 2 trillion. 2 billion. 2 trillion. Ooh, that's a doozy. Oh, why do I keep wanting to put the 2 trillion? Damn, we don't want to do this, guys. We don't want to do this. We don't want to see how much this is. Let's just see what 10%. Well, you should know that actually. So we got more than 10% last time. Do we want to estimate around, what do you guys think? Do we want to, let's do some guessing. Do we think, what percentage of that is that? Let's see what 13% looks like. We got more than 13, 15. Let's see. So we got a bit more than 15. So let's do 18 maybe? No, we got more. 19? Maybe we got 20%. Hold on, let's see if we got 20%. So we just got we got about 19%. Damn. I think that just comes out to, pretty sure that comes out to 71? Sorry, 81. Ooh, that's gross. That's gross. When the first round of stimulus went out, I heard the government had to print money to fund the stimulus package because they didn't have $2 trillion in the bank account. This round of stimulus, do you think the government had to print money? Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course. That was the whole big issue, that That's a good question, Twisted. That was the whole issue, that they are having to print money for this. So it's almost like they're like, hey, we're gonna have to print money for this. Um, they're gonna have to print money for this, right? So they're like, since we're gonna have to print money, why not fund all these other things that we want? I mean, it's literally like giving a kid the keys to a candy store. So let's take a look at this. Taking a look at this right here. Now the first time around, we got 19% of the stimulus went directly to Americans in their pocket. This time around, 22.7% went to Americans. Now, again, it seems like we're getting more, but that was just less, because this is 2 trillion and this is 900 billion. So the true disparity between this it's not even the numbers, it's even more atrocious, really, if you think about it. But proportionally, that's what you're looking at. So the question becomes, what's left? Okay. But yeah, we're printing money. And, as we print money, our money becomes worth less, inflation, and, the dollar loses power. And I guarantee you, and I'm not a financial advisor, but be aware of this. If this gets signed today, take a look at this crypto and stock markets. Well, take a look at the crypto and stock markets tomorrow, and keep your eye out for gains if you see this get passed, or whatever day this gets passed and actually signed into law by the president, whoever it is. Take a look at the stock markets. Yeah, but $1 trillion less. Yeah, but I mean, it's very empty. It's very empty. It's very empty. But again, you can do that when you become the world's global reserve currency. If you go down, everybody goes down. So there's a concerted effort to let you get away with things, and of course, to keep you afloat. Because, if Billy is done playing, he's going to pick up his marbles and go home. You can't play the game without Billy's marbles, right? Well, at this current time, they're trying to get on other methods of payment and registration. Everybody's trying to get off the dollar until they can do that. They're going to cling tightly to the dollar. So, yeah. So let's go over this. I don't want this to be too long. I thought I already did. Yeah. I thought it already did. Well, stand by, soldier. So let's take a look at these things. Here's some more pork. Pork. Peter Porker. Okay. So we went over that. So here's some more pork. So here are a couple other things. Among the more obscure provisions, some of which are totally, let's see here. Get rid of this. So here's some pork. Here's some examples of pork. Article Finance, article. Shout out to them. And again, this is called, I'll make this bigger. So this is what they call a Christmas tree bill in legislative circles. Is one that includes a lot of little items tangentially related to the point of the law. $900 billion stimulus package passed just 3 days before most Christian denominations celebrate Christmas. Definitely fits the theme of the season. And they're going to play on that heavy. An actual page from the stimulus bill. This and thousands of pages full of legislation that have absolutely nothing to do with the stimulus bill or why they don't want Congress reading the bill before voting. Again, Twitter, American people aren't dumb. I mean, we know a finesse when we see one. The thumbnail, that Venom, Carnage, and Spidey thumbnail. This is a finesse game right now. Okay, so let's take a look at this pork. Families, well, maybe this isn't the pork part. No, this is pork. Okay. Families will be able to carry over unused funds in child care and healthcare flexible spending accounts into 2021. Has nothing to do with COVID. Again, pork means has nothing to do with COVID. Well, what do the arts have to do with food? Oh, so again, like I said, these are all pork, meaning they have nothing to do with COVID. They just threw them in here to get it done. They said, well, since the American people are graciously paying this bill with their taxes, let's get all we can get. See, they're crooks. They're trying to finesse right now. If this is a 5,000-page bill, you need more than 2 hours to read this and vote on this. See, they're thinking, and they were right, because they passed it in the Congress, that people will be clamoring for money, that they got to do this for the American people. Exactly. What does that do with COVID-19? Nothing. It has nothing to do with it. But they're like, the American people need help. They're going to be happy to get this $600 and a couple of extensions. And you know what? We'll go through it. There are some things that are going to help some people. But this is definitely a cost-benefit analysis here. That's mandatory in something like this. An increase in deductibility of business meals from 50% to 100%, even though there aren't that many power breakfasts or 3 martini lunches in these days of social distancing. President Trump thought it was important to include, according to Washington Post. So you can deduct your business meals 100%. So I guess, technically speaking, if you're having a Zoom meeting with a client and you order, takeout to be going to each other's houses and you're eating during your Zoom meeting, I guess technically that's 100% tax deductible, which is kind of tight. But it's pork. No, thank you. Funding for 2 new Smithsonian. Oh, damn. Why? Oh, my goodness. Funding for 2 new Smithsonian museums, the Women's History Museum and the Museum of American Latino. More things to do in Washington when we're allowed to travel again. Okay. Listen, that's fine. I don't need my taxes to go towards this when we have more pressing issues. Sorry, baby. Fundraise like the rest of us. Make us care, make us want it. Don't use my taxes for that. Because we saw how much some of those Smithsonians were getting. Or maybe all that was going to. Maybe that's part of that $1 billion going to the Smithsonian to do that. Wow. This was an interesting one. Creation of a new U.S. consulate in Tibet, guaranteed to cause problems with Chinese government. Yeah, we know. Grubhub to order pork. Exactly. Creation of the U.S. consulate in Tibet. So some of you guys may or may not know. I don't want to treat you guys like you don't know. But, the lobbyists, heck yeah. But a lot of this is domestic, but mega. You're right. Creation of the U.S. consulate in Tibet. As you guys know, you ever see those signs, Free Tibet? You ever see that? China been cracking down on Tibet. And again, China doesn't want us that close to Tibet. because they got plans for Tibet. Let's just be real. $2 billion set aside for the Space Force. So what I'm not understanding is, Trump, if you create the Space Force, like, wouldn't that be going into defense spending? Why are we setting aside $2 billion from coronavirus relief? And again, it's not Trump's doing, you know what I'm saying? This isn't Trump. But what I'm saying is, why are we as a people setting aside $2 billion for the Space Force, which that $2 billion should be going towards the American people? That doesn't make sense. That should just go into regular defense spending. $500 million for Israeli cooperative programs. So I think that 500 milli was the 500 they were talking about going to Israel. Yep. Again, it has nothing to do with COVID. So that's not even for COVID. I don't believe COVID relief, COVID release, CV release. That's another one. Elimination of surprise medical bills in which patients at an in-network hospital or clinic receive treatment by an out-of-network practitioner, resulting in shockingly high bill. Now patients will pay the in-network rate for all services, and insurance company and providers negotiate the reimbursement. Okay, so that's a form of pork that goes down pretty easy, because the prudent person knows who and who's outside their network. But for those that don't, this is a pretty good equalizer. So that's going to actually help a lot of people. But I mean, you kind of know who's in network and who's not. But always got to be some military related mess. Yeah. So that's an interesting one. That's some good tasting pork right there. That's that pernil. That's that pernil right there. That's that good pork. The repeal of rarely enforced criminal laws prohibiting transportation of water hyacinth, alligator grass, water chestnut plant across state lines, putting bogus theft prevention decals on cars, or misusing the emblems of Smokey, Bear, and Woody Owl in 4-H Club? What? Bruh. This is not the time to do that. But I mean, I guess it's not hurting anyone. But this is really talking about like a rare few people. I know brothers ain't out there transporting water hyacinth and alligator grass and water chestnut plants. Okay. A section about the reincarnation and succession of the Dalai Lama. Why is that in the COVID release vaccine bill? I'm not vaccine bill. That's a whole other thing. This bill, this stimulus bill. What do we have to do with the Dalai Lama here? Now, this one, prohibition of e-cigarette shipments through U.S. Postal Service. What? The prohibition of e-cigarette shipments through the U.S. Postal Service. Interesting. That's interesting. Interesting. So that's some pork. But I know y'all are some pork fiends and y'all want some more pork. So I got some more pork for y'all. Got some more pork. I got pork and beans for you. Okay. Sorry, it's $2.4 billion to Space Force. A measure stating that China must have no role in choosing the next Dalai Lama, and that the decisions on the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama should be made solely by faith leaders. Wait. So we have a bill that states, hey, China, in the bill we're passing for the United States, you shouldn't have a role in choosing the next Dalai Lama, which I get. I mean, I get they don't want China influencing that religious area. That's like the Ayatollah. That's like, well, it's kind of like Israel having a choice to pick who the Ayatollah is. Yeah, we should probably stay away from that. I want a slab of baby back ribs with all this pork. Only the Dalai Lama can prevent forest fires and transport milkweed or whatever. Right. I was just thinking that in my head. I thought government was separation of church and state. Only in our country. In other people's country, we can speak on that. Okay. 35 million. 35 million in funding for sexual abstinence programs that exclusively implement education in sexual. Oh, 35 million in funding for sexual abstinence programs that exclusively implement education in sexual risk avoidance, defined as voluntarily refraining from non-marital sex. Okay, I mean, abstinence is the only 100% way to avoid, unwanted pregnancy, STDs. And yeah, I mean, maybe we should invest more. I guess that would technically help curb transmission of the CV. I guess. I mean, that's a stretch, but I could see that more than the others. Provisions for a tax break for owners of racehorses. Yeah, no, bud. That's no. Permission granted for the creation of the women's Latino. We don't need that. A provision of $4 billion. So there's $4 billion going to the U.S. Navy for weapon procurement. So more guns. So it's like they're adding defense spending, domestic and foreign policy provisions in this bill. Yeah, this pork off the chain. Don't have sex or you'll get pregnant and die. Yeah. I'm in tears. But yeah. This if what we had before was pernil, this is carnitas. You don't even know what you're getting. Carnitas can be anything. Let's see. Provision of 500 million to Israel and Jordan, which we saw here, Israel. And then declare. Okay, now this one is going to make a lot of people upset. This is most definitely carnitas right here. A provision declaring that illegal streaming is now a felony. If you got a Fire Stick, if you got an A-Box or one of those Android TVs, yes, I didn't mean to cuss. I was doing so good not cussing. Your patootie, your butt is getting hard time, a felony charge, just because you want to watch the next Mayweather Jake Paul fight. Because who's paying $50 for that? Or even $25. But if they catch you, you getting a hard time. You getting a felony charge. They didn't need to do that. They're trying to protect people's intellectual property. There's a better way of going about that. And really, that's what a civil suit is about. Right. They don't need to be adding felony charges to streaming. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? Illegal streaming. And that's so broad. I mean, that's so broad. You know how many YouTubers use clips of different things? And I mean, does the fair use work anymore? I mean, that's too broad. So if this gets signed into law, you know they already got a file on everybody. I mean, they're gonna go in. That's bad pork. I ain't trying to eat that pork. She said, "This is a whole roasted hog." Yeah, wait, it's a whole invested. I agree. Now that's cheap. That's cheap. That's a $15 belt. Actually, if you think about it, a butt whooping, the belt only costs what, $15-$20. $25 if you want a nice belt, and it can literally save lives. It can save, the cost that it saves is immeasurable. Exactly. I agree. Chop was on it. Both of y'all are on it, really. So that's pork. And I guarantee you, there is another one. There's another one in here about gender studies, like 25 million going to gender studies in India, something like that. Hold on, let me see if that comes up. Control F. Oh, that's the wrong one. Like crazy. I would be the woman I am without a good old whooping. I would be the woman I am without a good old whooping. If I had more than $600, I could afford to pay for streaming. Bruh, I feel you. Netflix is going up. Everything. You got away from cable. Cable said, okay. What is that? Ultron? Dissemble? I don't know. All right, let me see here. India. Western Water and Indian Affair. No, we want Indian. Damn. They should just put Native American. You didn't have to make the pig noise. Wee! Nah, man. You remember that? Wee! The pig, the Geico pig. He's like, hey, I'm a pig. Pigga. Dang, I live off of streaming TV. You just better do it legitimately, or you'll get a felony charge for that if this passes. Crazy enough. Where was it? Gender? Let's put gender study. Let's just put gender. Was that a lie? Hold on. Let's find out. Stimulus bill pork. Pork. Stimulus bill pork. Stimulus bill packed full of pork. I'm telling you, pork is that term. People, as much as people act like they don't like pork, there's pork to be had. Hold on. Well, you're not going through all the pork. Oh, so this is a libertarian. It's a libertarian website. Libertarians, man, they don't play. Oh, hold on. No, we didn't see this pork before, or we didn't get to that part in the bill. Look at that. Stimulus bill packed full of pork. I don't know. That tickles me, that whole pork. Pork. 13,641 for the White House residents. Biden. We're literally paying for Biden renovations in this bill. 3,850 million, the office of the president. So Biden's getting a cool, he's getting a cool 18 million from this bill going to the presidency in the White House. They are They really think we're dumb. They really think we're not going to read. They really think we're going to just like, they really think little. They think so little of us. That's crazy. Central Utah Project, 21 mil. What's that? 60,000. 100 thing for Risk Management Agency, National Agriculture Statistics Services. Yo, that's a lot of pork. Oh yeah, of course. Buried in the relief bill, if you stream copyrighted content without permission, you now are a federal felon, punishable by jail time, fines, losing your right to vote or own a firearm. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. There's a lot of pork. Let's see here. Let me see. Full list. Well, you know, Sean Hannity's gonna hold on. Read full. Yeah, I want to see the full list. Let's see what Sean Hannity's full list of pork is. Oh, well, this isn't bad. Hold on, this isn't bad. So this is proof they've been playing us and they won't stop. Yeah, I agree. Now I understand why pork is bad for you. It's bad for all of us. So this is kind of tight. Shout out to Hannity.com. But this was courtesy of the Senate Appropriations Committee. So they wrote 5,330 page stimulus bill, but they also provided a summary. They're like, oh, here's a summary of the bill, and this is probably what the aides got, and probably what the Congress men and women got to read at before they voted. So I'm going to definitely put the link to both of these here. No, hold on. No, hold on. Let's make sure. We always want to be right. No, this isn't the same. Hold on. Nope, that's old. There's not a updated one. That's old. So no, that wasn't right. We actually, and I wouldn't expect them to have it. They don't have it. Let's see, Senate. Appropriation Committee stimulus. Okay. Well, all right. I guess we don't have that. So this is up to you guys. I would definitely say go through. I mean, honestly, I know you guys. I know me. I know the American people. Most of us are not going to go through this entire bill. But I guarantee you, if we did, we probably wouldn't want this. But let's go ahead and read the most, the parts that are going to mean the most to us, and then we'll get out of here. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me so far, so long. And let's go ahead and end this up. But let's go over the most important bits. So we went over the pork. Hope y'all were able to digest that. Oh yeah, sorry. $3,600 for candles. So the question becomes about the 300. Let me see about the. All right. So about the 300 bonus weekly unemployment check, they were adding $300 to the existing bonuses. So starting, if this gets signed, starting January 1st, there will add an additional 13 weeks provided by the federal government. An additional $300. So the $300 bonus weekly will last for 13 weeks starting January 1st if this is signed into law. It's set to expire on the 31st of this month, December. So if this is passed, it will restart for another 16 weeks if it's passed. Although here's the caveat for that. States don't have to send out the unemployment bonus. States can do with that money whatever they want. Let's see. If Congress passes the new stimulus bill, it would add another 16 weeks for unemployment insurance to cover job seekers into April. Unemployment money for freelancers and contractors and gig workers would add 16 more weeks to that as well, if it's passed. Evictions start December 31st. If you're at a renting out anywhere, evictions December 31st. Is when they expire. But if this is passed, it gets extended for 1 month. And then when Joe Biden enters office, he can choose to extend out the eviction protections. So you're good to go for the end of this month. It expires the 31st. But after that, if this is not signed into law, if Trump vetoes the bill, then yeah, December 31st, you got to be ready to get up out of there. Because I can tell you, a lot of these renters, these owners, are going to want to get these people out because they're not getting paid. So that's something to consider. Student loans. So as a lot of you know, that it was the CARES Act that deferred student loan payments, federal student loan payments, of course. And they were only supposed to be good through the end of September. In August, Trump extended the deferment to December 31st. And then Betsy DeVos advised on December 4th that they were deferred to January 31st. So if you have a student loan, you're not going to have to pay it back this month. It'll likely be the end of January 31st. Of course, if this is passed, then the student loan, you won't have to pay it until April 2021. April 2021. And that's pretty much the biggest parts of this, right? So, of course, there's way more to this document. Way more. It would take a lot of time to go through. And you know what? If I had a team, if our TRP was bigger, I would definitely delegate the work accordingly, and we would break down this whole entire thing. But hopefully those are the most important. It's hard for me to say the most important parts of this bill because there's probably some really wild stuff in here. I know they put money towards contact tracing in here. coronavirus vaccine deployments, things of that nature. Again, contact tracing, and we know the phone companies are allowing your data to be used, you to be tracked through their phone systems. So we already know what's up with that. So yeah, studies show that self-approved. This is Real Talk, Real People. Any questions or comments? What do you guys think? Do you think Trump should sign this? Do you think he should veto this? Do you think he should veto this and have them go back to the drawing board? Do Americans need more money in their pocket? Is 600 enough? Will you accept 600 with the hope that Joe Biden will go ahead and send more coronavirus relief? Do you want them to do what they can now? And do you think, maybe this is a topic for another video, do you think Joe Biden would put any sort of caveats to getting any of that coronavirus stimulus money? Will he require you to get a vaccination in order to get that money? Very interesting things are happening. Will he require you to wear a mask? Will being found out to not wear a mask bar you from getting the breakdown, from you getting the stimulus? We already got one, so thanks for the breakdown. Needs to be vetoed. It's all bull. I agree. So in summation, what it seems like is they're pretty much just trying to say American people need help. Vote for the bill. Vote for the bill. Congress didn't want to see. Everybody's trying to get reelected, right? So they don't want to be the one person that voted against the bill, even though they've read and like, yo, we definitely shouldn't be paying for this. They could have done better. They could have done a lot better. But that's where corruption comes, right? The new session of Congress will be sworn in January. So we'll see. But, I mean, that's politics for you. And that's not an excuse. We should always hold our elected officials up to a higher standard than us, because that's what they're there for. They're there to promote our interests and make sure we're good. But alas, we shall see. They're trying to use fear, stalling tactics, subterfuge, theatricality, and deception to get what they want and give the American people just enough. Now, as long as no one's rights are being infringed on, whether you are a employer of a small business, a freelancer, as long as you can go out and make your money, I think people will be fine getting a low stimulus. But when you're telling people they have to stay home, they can't go outside, they can't run their business. Yeah, you have state officials out getting their hair done. I'm talking to you, Nancy Pelosi. Going out to dinners, private, intimate dinners. I'm talking to you, Gavin Newsom. And telling other folks they can't go to church. They can't go out and live their lives. They can't do this. They can't do that. Tell them they got to wear masks. They got to shut down their lives. Yeah, that's going to be an issue from an ethical and moral issue. One last thing I want to add before I close this down, and this was interesting. There was, and again, I'll have links for all of the stuff that I didn't go over, although it wasn't much I didn't. Let me see here. This was really important. It was This is going to be the game changer. Let me find this here. This is a game changer. So let me share my screen one last time. No liability protection from COVID-19 lawsuits this time. A major sticking point through the summer and fall, Republican legislators have supported limiting COVID-19 liability to guard against lawsuits against business and schools and hospitals and other organizations from people who said these institutions caused them to acquire the coronavirus, except for instances of gross negligence. Democrats have balked at the plan. The coronavirus liability shield, along with money for state and local funding, has been broken off into separate piece of $160 billion legislation. So that is a separate thing to be voted on. The final stimulus bill in 2020 wouldn't include this, but that discussion could pick up again in 2021. We all know the new administration is going to be asking for another package. Senator Mitch McConnell said December 15th, we can live to fight another day on what we disagree on, but we all agree we have to go forward on what we can agree on, and that's the way forward. So these protections will be gone. If this gets passed, these protections will be gone. So if you catch the coronavirus at work, if you're forced to go to work and you catch the coronavirus, if your child's forced to go to school or your child's going to school and this gets passed, you can sue. Now, I guarantee you, the schools have lawyers, these corporations have lawyers. I guarantee you, they'll let go of people or cut hours, or they'll rather have all the employees sign new waivers before they open themselves up to liability. So you may see some school closures. You may see kids going push to do more distance learning, not going to schools. You may see some, like I said, businesses shut down, halt freezing or hiring. This is big. Because without that, a lot of these companies aren't going to take the risk. A lot of these schools, a lot of these other places are not going to take a risk bringing their workforce back. This is big if this gets passed. And be aware. So if you have children, don't be surprised if you get a call from the school, the county school board talking about, so we're going to do more distance learning because they don't want the liability, right? So that's going to be huge. And I'll put a link to all these in the description for your consumption and digestion. And some free game here. I'm going to put this link to. Start looking to invest in some water companies. It's coming, all right? Water scarcity could be next. They're already talking about it. Dr. Claude Anderson was talking to Dr. Boyce Watkins a little earlier today about the water war that's coming, drought, scarcity, safe water. These are some Black-owned water companies. So, yeah, start investing in them if you can. Start buying from them if you can. Maybe even look at starting your own water company. I mean, it's going to be big. I know I'm going to be looking into it. And, of course, if I do, it's going to be at least above 9 or at 9 pH or 9.5. Alkaline, baby. But yeah, this is Real Talk, Real People. Again, keep it real and study and show that stuff approved. Everything's going to be cool as long as you continue to do your due diligence, prepare, take care, and love one another. Keep your heart and minds on God. You can't lose. And we're out. Peace, everyone. Thank you.